Continuing on with a marriage theme, this next show takes a little bit of a different tone, as a woman reflects on the relationship with her husband as she recalls one very fateful and explosive Thanksgiving Eve. Featuring Arlene Pollock, Anita Millers, and Tom Nixon, directed by Pete DeSante and written by Leslie Wagner, this is Thanksgiving Exit.
It started with so much promise. I poured my heart into it. It would be several years before I'd leave for good. But I left that night. It was the beginning of the end. Friends who had seen him picking on me, imitating my laugh, making fun of me, or just being unkind, said that I did the right thing. I had surgery on that wrist. With the tendon frayed. It was in a sling. It's hard to explain at work. For more than a decade afterward, whenever I would talk about any holiday, I would accidentally call it Thanksgiving. Because time stopped that day. And trust. Talk of any holiday brought me back to Thanksgiving. But there have been several years of no one knowing about what really went on, the bullying behind closed doors. It was only when my doctor asked me about what happened to my wrist, and I stuttered. And then she asked if there had been sexual assault, and I couldn't speak. She closed the door, sat down on her stool, and did a full hour-and-a-half domestic violence intervention. It was when she asked me if I told anyone about what was going on. I realized I hadn't told a single friend, or my mom, or my sister about what had been happening for the better part of a year. She said isolation is part of what happens. It would be another year of him grabbing my breasts in public, even though I begged him to stop. When I did it to him and asked him how he liked it, he said he'd break my fingers if I did it again. It would be another year of him being mean to me during the day and then climbing on me in the middle of the night, waking me from a sound sleep, hissing in a hoarse whisper in my ear, "Spread your legs, do as I say." Finally, I pressed myself up against him and I said, "How do you like it?" And he threw me across the room. My doctor said he could have killed me when she saw the bruises. And in her 30 years of practice, she had never seen something this bad get better. I told her he's in therapy, and maybe this was happening to me so that he could be better. And she said maybe we might be the one exception to the rule. She'd never seen it get better, not in 30 years of practice. She gave me a contact information for a group for women in controlling relationships. She said I'd leave when I was ready. He moved his gun into our bedroom, and his bullets. I asked him if he was trying to scare me. He didn't say anything. I lost my voice. Literally. Without once having laryngitis, I lost my voice and was unable to speak. I could barely speak when I went to the divorce attorney. Our therapist said I should not sleep in the same bed with someone I was not safe with. And so I moved to another bedroom. The next week I took the bullets to the police, and they told me that his permit to own and carry a gun had long expired. I asked them what I should do. They told me I knew what I should do. When I finally left, I thought, maybe in another 5 years with therapy, he'll be better. But I didn't have another 5 years to give. You can make the most delicious dishes in the world, but if someone can't taste the love, you're in the wrong house. Man's home may be his castle, but a woman's house is her country. And in my country, women were not allowed to wear bright colors. Women could not laugh too loud. Women were not allowed to be too joyful. Women did not have the right to say no, or control their own body, or be treated with dignity. Women had to wash the knives immediately by hand after every meal, and women were subject to put-downs and berating at any time, and subject to meanness all the time.
Sis, you've got to give it a try. Well, I would make it for you, but it won't be there. And besides, Mom needs a break. You know this Thanksgiving stuffing recipe has been in our family for generations. It's delicious. Plus, you're gonna love the applause. It's fun to cook for a crowd. Yes, for the applause, because people can taste all the love, and you get all that love in return. Everyone thinks it's the turkey that's the star of Thanksgiving. Ha! It's the stuffing. At least this stuffing. So first of all, you're gonna take a loaf of bread and cube it. Yeah, I do it on a cutting board. And then you're gonna take the bread cubes and put them in the bowl. Get the biggest bowl you have. You think it's gonna be big enough? Oh no, get an even bigger one. Or the stuffing is going to go everywhere, okay? And then you're gonna need to add some sage. Yeah, mind you, not too much sage. One year I added too much sage. Mind you, it was the only year my stuffing wasn't incredible. And it was a sagey sage mess. So just sprinkle it over the breadcrumbs. Yep. And then you're gonna brown the sausage together with the onions and celery that you've chopped, okay? And then you're gonna take that whole meaty, savory mixture and pour it over your bread cubes. Yep. Now let it cool, and then you're gonna squish it together. Yeah. I use clean rubber gloves, otherwise, it gets kind of icky, okay? And the best part, you can taste it, because it's already cooked. So just leave it there, or set it in the fridge until you're ready to stuff the turkey. Do you think you can remember that? Okay, I hope you wrote it all down. Oh, hold on a minute. Hey, babe! While you were out, your mom called, and they're all looking forward to Thanksgiving tomorrow.
The kitchen is a mess.
How are you?
This kitchen is a mess.
What?
The kitchen is a mess.
Well, I'm cooking. Hey, sis, let me hop off the phone for now. Bye. Good luck. Love you. I wish you were here to make my green bean casserole and cheesy potatoes. Ha! But they're already done for tomorrow. Bye. Hey, I'm in the middle of cooking Thanksgiving dinner for you and your whole family. Of course, the house will be absolutely beautiful before everyone comes over. Don't worry.
You know I work a long day. It'd be nice to come home to a clean house.
The house is always beautiful.
Maybe to you.
What is going on?
What do you mean what's going on? I'm coming into my house and it's a mess.
Every room is perfect, except for the kitchen that I'm cooking in right now.
What about the cupboards?
Please. I love the holidays. Can't we just enjoy it? I love making my grandma's stuffing. My mom's made it for years. Her mom made it. Her mom's mom made it. You love it. Come on, just let me do my thing.
What a mess.
No one is going to see inside the cupboards.
They might have to open a cupboard to get something.
What is going on?
Look at the mess.
It's the inside of the cupboards. You haven't even taken your jacket off yet. Come on, relax. I've got this. the holidays. Can't we just enjoy it?
I'm gonna organize the inside of these cupboards, because apparently, you can't.
Please, let me do this. You know, when has this house ever not been perfect for a party? Did something happen?
You can't even stack the pots in a neat way.
You always do this before people come over. Please stop. Please.
You can't do anything. And orange? Look at what you're wearing. I told you, I don't like bright colors on you.
Well, orange is my favorite color. And I'm not wearing this tomorrow. And besides, you can't tell me what to wear.
I only find you attractive in blue and black and gray.
Well, I tried that for several months, and you weren't happy with me then either.
Just look at these cupboards.
Please, you're wrecking us. You're wrecking this. You don't have to do this. You're nervous about your family coming over. I understand. We've talked about this. This doesn't need to happen every time people come over. You get so nervous.
But look at this place. And look at you. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you?
You're nervous about your dad, and you promised you wouldn't.
I could do whatever I want. I could say whatever I want.
I'm not doing this. Thanksgiving is canceled here. It can be held somewhere else. You can't treat me this way and expect me to do everything and smile when everyone comes over. It's been too many times. I respect your family. I'm gonna call your mother and tell her that Thanksgiving needs to be held somewhere else. I told you I'm not going through this again. If you're gonna behave like this, everything is going to halt.
Don't you dare call my mother.
I'm not going through this again. Everything is perfect. And you're ruining it. She knew this would happen. She's been through it with your father. She told me there were only 2 reasons that I should ever call her. If there was abuse or if there was no food. I need to call the other woman of this house and tell her that I will not be hosting this Thanksgiving. What have you done? What have you done?
If you'd done things like I said, you wouldn't get hurt.
Do you hear yourself? If I had done what you said, I wouldn't be hurt.
That's what I said.
You swore you wouldn't be like your father. The way he would come after your mother, you said he was constantly putting her down, constantly complaining, never happy when he came home from work. You don't want to do this.
I am not like my father.
But you are. You keep doing this. You said so yourself, that the whole house could be an A+, and you would find the one A- thing and focus on it.
Maybe.
The cupboard, taking everything out before people come over. Do you know how many times you have done that?
Maybe you're a bad homemaker. Maybe you're a bad person.
My wrist, it's swelling.
I am not an abuser. If you had done things like I said, you wouldn't get hurt.
And how do you explain the middle of the night stuff? Because that's been happening again too.
Shut up!
I won't shut up. I won't do this. I will not be treated this way. Do what you want to. But this has got to stop. Because while you were out, I set the table for Thanksgiving. I cooked the food. I made our bed. I thought about you. And I thought about how to make everything beautiful. For you. And for us. While you were out, I also realized that I am worthy of love. And maybe we both deserve something better, if this isn't it. While you were out, I prayed for better days ahead. While you were out, I realized that I don't deserve someone who imitates my laugh. While you were out, I realized that I didn't deserve someone who criticized me for being joyful. While you were out, I realized that I won't tolerate this any longer. While you were out, I remembered myself and how hard I've tried. And while you were out, I realized that maybe this isn't even your fault. Maybe I'm like an organ that your body's rejecting that just doesn't belong. Maybe you're pushing me out because we don't fit together. And that's the most generous I can be. And maybe that makes the most sense. But I want you to know that while we were here, I gave everything I had. And now, I am out.